the moldavite. It's a very ancient piece of glass, what they call a tektite, scientific name for natural glass. When a meteorite impacts, it is going with such a high velocity that it throws up tons and tons of material into the air. Much of it is liquefied, and as it comes back down to the earth, it cools, and that's what creates the moldavite, the green, rough, glassy. And it's always rough, it's never smooth, because as it goes from a molten state and drops down and cools, it shrinks and it creates all that wavy pattern. Well, you'll never get a smooth piece of moldavite. If it is, it's probably fake. Well, you're talking a small group of people on the planet who are aware and conscious of these different crystals and the energies that they give off. It helps them to raise their consciousness and their spirituality, and it has a way of cleansing your energy body.
We need to stop the stigma around moldavite. I hate when people are like, don't get moldavite unless you're ready, it's gonna ruin your life. This crystal does not have the power to ruin your life. People be like, oh, I got moldavite and then my marriage ended, or I got moldavite and my best friend stopped being friends with me after we've been friends for 20 years. Two things. Number one, your brain can only release things that it thinks you can handle. It is programmed to protect you. So any memories or emotions that feel detrimental to your well-being will not be released unless you are able to handle them. Moldavite is a powerful tektite that helps enhance spiritual awakening. So because you might be feeling all of these emotions at once doesn't mean you're not able to handle them. It just means you've never felt these intense emotions before. And number two, anything that moldavite helps to amplify that might feel life-ruining was already dormant within you because of the universal law of attraction. So let's say that your marriage ends. It needed to. It didn't end because you got moldavite and moldavite ruined everything. It ended because it had already needed to end. It had already expired, but you didn't realize that. And getting a crystal that amplifies spiritual awakening with the intention to heal will make whatever is not serving you shoo out of your life. So please stop scaring people and don't be scared if you want moldavite. It's an awesome tektite. It is very helpful for spiritual awakening, but the power is within you. The crystal doesn't have the power to do anything that you're not already intending.
Just wanted to say, if you were thinking about getting moldavite.
Yeah, moldavite is pretty intense. Here's what it does. Essentially, moldavite removes obstacles that are between you and the path that you are meant to be on. Any door that has a what if behind it, closed or immediately opened. That situationship that you're in that you're not sure what you are, bye-bye, it's gone. The job that you're thinking about leaving but you can't quite do it, bye-bye, you got laid off. That house you were kicking the tires on buying, all of a sudden it drops in price. When these things happen, they feel like major life shifts and they can feel really awful at the time they happen. But a year later, you will be in a much better place. That's the power of moldavite, and if you can't find one right now, it's because you're not ready. Moldavite will find you when it's your time. Follow for more crystal tips.
So a lot of people ask me, how do you work with moldavite? And what exactly do you need to do to reap the benefits of moldavite? As many of you know, moldavite is not a crystal but a tektite, a natural glass. You can hold it near your heart chakra, or you can hold it up to your third eye while meditating. And the hand you hold it in while meditating matters. If you hold it in your dominant hand, you are broadcasting energy to the universe. And if you hold it in your non-dominant hand, you are receiving energy from the universe. When you are done with your moldavite, simply put it away, and you can take it back out.
What is one of the most powerful crystals or stones you can find? That is moldavite. Now, moldavite is a crazy stone. It's a tektite, and it's 14.7 million years old. That's what scientists think right now. What a tektite is, it's basically when the asteroid hits the ground, melts the ground, and spreads all these molten silica particles on the floor, and that's moldavite. So this specific color, this mossy color of a tektite, is only found in the Czech Republic. There is no other tektite on the planet like this. Spiritually, vibrationally, this has one of the highest frequencies you can find in any crystal or stone, and they call this the stone of transformation. And sometimes those transformations are a little crazy, a little rocky. Like, if you don't lose it within the first 2 days or 3 days, like, it's gonna like rock your world. And it's also said to connect you with extraterrestrial. Again, it's a high vibrational stone. It will connect you to extraterrestrials and it will transform your life. So if that's something that you think that you're interested in to, you know, make your life a little more interesting, not bad, a little just more interesting, and you're trying to like change rapidly, then moldavite is for you. And if you want some moldavite, just click the link in our bio.
Moldavite. Actually, wala akong moldavite. Hindi, although may plano akong kumuha. Pero, base sa mga may-ari or nag-own ng moldavite na kilala ko, paiiyakin ka niyan kasi yung mga blockages sa life mo na mga dapat tinatanggal mo na mga hindi mo kaya i-let go. Ifo-force ka ng moldavite na i-let go na yan. So kung kunwari sabihin natin na you're meant for business, example, tatanggalan ka ni moldavite ng trabaho, paalisin ka sa rirerentahan mo, mga ganun. As for me and my only experience with moldavite is yung nagkaroon kami ng live sa IHOP dati about crystals. Tapos kahit na sobrang liit niya, kapag hawak siya or andyan siya, ang nakakahilo. Kasi ang lakas talaga ng energy niya. Yung authentic as in yung legit na moldavite. Pero maganda siya kung gusto mo dire-diretso yung trajectory ng buhay mo sa kung saan ka talaga meant to be. So, yun.
Please be careful with moldavite if you're not ready to deal with your trauma.
Moldavite is the most powerful crystal I've ever used. It comes from a meteorite that crashed into Earth millions of years ago. It's very, very rare and it's very expensive. So this is what moldavite does. It removes obstacles instantly between you and the path you're meant to be on. Any door that's got a what if behind it, it immediately closes or opens. The relationship that you're in, that you don't know what's going to happen, over, gone. It gets you to where you need to be really, really quickly. That job you really want to leave but you can't seem to do it, bye-bye, you'll probably get laid off. When all of these things happen, they can feel like major life shifts and some of it can feel really awful. Since starting to use this 2 weeks ago, I have cut off 2 friends and I never argue with anyone. It will get you exactly where you need to be and super quick.
What are some real benefits of moldavite? So moldavite has been known to cause major shifts in one's life. A strong majority have reported the changes to ultimately be positive. A common example, and this happened to myself, losing one job which gets replaced with something better suited for you. This is because moldavite is raising your vibration to that of the tektite. Remember, everything vibrates. And this meteorite that crashed here approximated 15 million years ago holds a vibration. When authentic moldavite is working with you, one can usually feel a pulsing, a flushing, wooziness, or even a light sickness as it's scanning your body for energy blockages. The moldavite energy can get so intense, you may have an urge to put it down, smack it off your third eye. I know I've done that, especially when working with other stones like phenakite. Pushing through that sickness, that ooziness, that woozy, that sometimes headaches that came as a pain in my side 5 days later. If you can move through it, you'll connect and access the oneness frequency. You hear everyone talking about everything is love, and you connect to the ether space where all information is stored. You may find it easier to let go of negative baggage from your past, even from childhood, the things that are blocked in your subconscious that moldavite roots out. You may experience joy when holding moldavite or wearing moldavite as it becomes your energy cleanser, your booster, your personal enlightenment tool. If it's calling...
So, you're thinking about buying some moldavite? Let's talk. I've been wearing this crystal non-stop for about the past 6 months, so I got some tips for you. And if you don't know what moldavite is, here are some of its wonderful properties and why it's called the cursed crystal on TikTok. Maybe it's called the cursed crystal, I don't know. But I keep seeing that it's a cursed thing to wear. Here are the properties. Pause the video if you need to. We'll call this video your moldavite survival guide. I'm gonna give you 3 good tips. Tip number 1, breathe. Yes, it's basic, and yes, I know it sounds silly and you do it every 5 minutes. But the thing that moldavite will do to your life is create freaking change. Everything's going to shift. And when those shifts happen, pause. Take a deep breath. Create space for the chaos that might be happening in your life right now. Because I swear, if you do not embrace this change, you do not embrace the shifts that are happening that are trying to improve your life, it's going to be a lot harder. So freaking breathe, please. Breathe first. Tip number 2. Pace yourself. When you first get your crystal, only wear it when you meditate or when you're doing breath work or when you're doing yoga, okay? You don't have to wear it full time as soon as you get it. Ease yourself into it, please. Because wearing moldavite in public, people start to act a little different around you. I'm just going to say that. People start to act real different around you when you wear moldavite in public for the first time. So to give yourself a break, just pace yourself before you start wearing it every single day, all the time, around everyone. Tip number 3, set your intention. There is a reason that you feel drawn to this crystal right now. So as soon as you get it, cleanse it, meditate with it, and set your intention for it. This crystal is meant to deepen your spiritual growth and remove all the BS in your life, really, if you got any. So if you don't tell it what to do, it will tell you what to do. Like, for example, the reason I got my moldavite is because I felt like it was time for a change, and I was no longer afraid of whatever the consequences would be and whatever the side effects were. Like, my intention for purchasing this crystal was to deepen my spiritual growth, deepen my love for myself, and change my entire surroundings. So literally, I told the crystal I was ready for change. Protect me, but, help me grow. And that's what it did. Real fast, actually. So be sure you set your intention with your crystal. It is a very powerful,
These two are so intense, it's hard to talk. We've got moldavite and we've got malachite. Let's get into it. I can't even begin to describe the feeling coming out of my chest. It's like a dimensional explosion of intensity. Both of these are stones of transition. Both of these are powerful manifestors. Both of these will create intense upheaval in your life. They can both be used to attract money, wealth, love, and both will kick your ass if you're not ready for them. These two together can move some energy. If you are brave enough to pair these two together, be prepared for a pretty massive life upheaval. If you really focus your intention that you want tremendous change, don't be surprised if you completely walk away from your life tomorrow and go on some sort of great adventure, something that feeds your soul. And during that time, be prepared to be confused, upset, self-reflective, and make probably quite a few mistakes that will eventually end up being the right thing, but at the time could be rather painful. These two together are a powerhouse of raw energy. They are dynamic, they are intense, and they will F up your life, but in all the best ways possible. This is a cataclysmic powerhouse that you may only need a couple times in your life. This is not something you would use every day, but when you do use it and you use it with the right intention, boy, will it break you free of every chain you've ever had. But be prepared. You might see things you don't like, but that's not.
Okay, here's proof that moldavite works. Here's my hand. Okay. There's my hand. Now look at moldavite. Look at that. Look at that crazy energy. Oh my God. Back up a little bit. Look at that.